Okay, it is Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm throwing in with the Chiefs because I'm a Texas Tech Mahomes fan. So I grew up a Cowboys fan, but I'm embarrassed to say that, but I remain a Dallas Cowboys fan. Maybe one day, maybe, but today I am Mahomes. My wife is poisoned to my sons. All of my kids except for one. I have one that's with me, but the rest of them are Niners. She is always been a Niners fan, and I've always hated the Niners. Okay, I digress. This particular parent been acting pro se, have two more very detailed state complaints, but we prevailed on a state complaint. Now what? More guidance on the process, what to expect related to Corrective Action Plan. And so basically, I'm assuming, you didn't go into a lot of detail, so I'm going to have to sit there and guess what it is that you want me to try to explain. But the 1, 2, and 3 bullet points that you added would be where they had a finding in your favor in the state complaint, meaning the state education system. And as I've explained to parents over that have watched enough of these videos, state complaints are more mechanisms where the State Department of Education, who is in charge of compliance monitoring with the rules and with the regulations, are better suited to pinpoint where a school isn't following the procedure. All right. Now, procedure is only one aspect of your child's program. Doesn't really deal with the substance of your child's program and whether or not, because your child isn't receiving the substantive services, whether your child's receiving a FAPE, a free and appropriate public education. Those are two totally different things. Now, in some ways, the sheer amount of screw-ups on the procedural side will end up tipping over to impact the substance of the child's program to where your child is not receiving a free and appropriate public education. So, just always keep that in mind, that the state complaint is mainly dealing, because of the state's duty with progress monitoring, mainly dealing with procedure and whether they're following procedure. So where you prevailed and where the school is going to have to take corrective action is that, it appears to me that they were not providing you notices in a consistent manner with the IEP meetings that they were trying to schedule. So there you go. There's your slap in the hand as a school district. Do that better. Provide the notices in a consistent manner with regards to IEP meeting requests, which could be that they didn't send you notices within the specified amount of time, or let's say you asked for an IEP meeting and they had 30 days to convene one and they didn't do it, and let's say they didn't send you the notices in advance but had you sign at the meeting itself. Can they do that? Well, yeah, but should they? No, they should be sending these in advance and, at least a 10-day before and, giving you notice and all this other stuff. So that would be slap on the hand number 1. Slap on the hand number 2, provide parent counseling and training as a related service. That's important. Okay, and a lot of schools don't provide that. Now, what does that mean? That means that you want to be a partner in this process of being able to help your child generalize the concepts and the things that they're being taught across all settings, okay? Because special education is a service, it's not a location. Your child lives in a real world. They will not live in the vacuum of a public school or a classroom for the rest of their life. So you, as a parent, are a valuable member of the IEP team. You are half of the decision-making process. You are also there to help develop the goals and the services that your child needs. So in order for your child to make progress in many of these areas, then you need to be a partner in that process to help reinforce these concepts and to help your child generalize, and work those mental muscles and those emotional muscles and those communicative muscles outside of the school setting in order to help your child make progress. And so that's what the parent counseling and training as a related related service would come in is that your ability to be a partner in the things that your child needs. And it's in there. Now, whether a school recognizes that or views you as a partner, it doesn't matter. That's one of the things that the IEP team should be considering and should be including in order to fully involve you as part of your child's IEP team. The third one, include a statement of all related services. Now, we have a real problem with that. When I'm analyzing IEP in the process of drafting a complaint, then I will frequently look to see how the related services are written. Now, what are related services? Occupational therapy, speech language, psychological services, speech language pathology, vision in this particular situation. Yes. Well, I mean, that's up a little bit further. I didn't share the upper paragraph to the question, but there's some blindness, vision issues, and needs in those areas. And so all of those things would be part of the necessary related services in order to help support your child making gains in the educational performance areas of academics, social emotional development, including behavior and communication. All right? That's what related services do. They relate back to these things. Now, once your child gets older, 14 or 9th grade, then we throw in transition services. Once let's say your child is more impaired, then we're also talking about functional skills. Those things are also educational performance areas. So anything over here, meaning third-party contractors, other people that work for the school system that wear other professional hats, occupational therapy, physical therapy, like I said, psychological services, board-certified behavior analyst, those kind of things that relate over to help your child progress in their educational performance areas. Now, how do you write a good... I have so many very, very bad goals written where it just says, the child will receive consultative services and occupational therapy, but it doesn't describe what is going to be worked on. What are the peer-reviewed, scientifically based approaches that can be incorporated? Where is the consultative? How do you break down that consultative, time to where the staff is being trained in order to implement this for the child on a daily basis, with follow-up with the OT to ensure that it's being done and there's accountability. So there needs to be far more meat in the IEP with regards to explanation of what the related service providers are doing, for how long and where all this is going to be taking place. And it's okay to break down some of it's going to be one-to-one, direct, some of it's going to be small group, some of it's going to be consultative. I don't like when it says, for example, for speech language, when it says the child will receive one-to-one or small group, X number of times per week for 30 minutes. Sorry, how much of that is small group and how much of that is one-to-one? Because, if you just leave it up to the speech language path, then by and large, it's just all going to be, small group. It needs to be deconstructed and thoroughly explained in order to fully benefit your child and have you, as a valuable contributing member of your child's IEP team, fully understanding what is supposed to be happening. But you are sitting in these meetings, guys, and if you see these vague explanations, you need to sit there and say, we need to break that down more so that I understand what exactly is going to be going on, and so that I know that the staff understand what the related service personnel is supposed to do, and then also make sure that the related service personnel know what they're supposed to do. But that's what those mean, is that you won in these areas or you prevailed in these areas, and that's the corrective action for those 3 findings that the school wasn't doing that they need to do. And I guess the goal is that once they correct those things, then I guess things are supposed to be better, and there'll be gumdrops and lollipops falling from the sky, and everything will be better. And hopefully it is. But just understand that with state complaints, you know, if you're looking to really change the substance of your child's IEP program, then that's more the due process complaint route, where they assign a hearing officer, or the OCR route, because attorneys will be involved on the Office of Civil Rights route. And then in this particular area, there's going to be plenty of attorneys out there, even some with the Americans with Disabilities, that would be able to come in and help advocate for you specifically on the nature of your child's disability and needs. They do exist out there. Okay.